Rasha was always onto the creative side and singing, and I want to be a rock star, and I want to be like Ariana Grande and everything. And so she was belting it out all the time, and she sings Touchwood very well even now. But she now has started seeing all my other varied movies and everything. But the only advice that they constantly give me on my Instagram, because I am such a dud at Instagram. Oh, so beautiful, just like a wow.
Yeah.
I was the first person in the industry to make that
Oh my
reel.
God.
And my daughter freaked out at me, Mama, this is so cringe, please delete it. She called me, can you delete? That's so cringe. And after that, after that, Deepika made it and others made it. I sent it to her. I said, see, everyone's making it. Deepika's made it, so it's become a rage. मैंने किया तो cringe.
रवीना टंडन तो बहुत अकड़ू होगी.
Have you heard that before?
बहुत एटीट्यूड होगा, ठीक है?
They think that of all film stars. They think
Yeah,
we all
yeah.
live a different, we are on a different planet.
Yeah.
That we're aliens probably. We don't have emotions.
Because while growing up, we used to be like, अच्छा हाँ, अरे, how do you know? I'm telling you, कोई empathy नहीं है. Because as outsiders यही सुनने को मिलता है ना हम सबको. When I met her, I was like, what? My childhood was a lie. She is one of the most chilled person, one of the most humble people I've come across.
Hi everyone, welcome to News 18, and today we have with us team Karmma Calling. We have Namrata, Varun and of course the OG, Raveena Tandon. Hi, how are you guys?
Very good.
Very
How are
well.
you?
Thank you.
So, right before we rolled, I saw you telling her that, apna baal theek karo and all of that. So, has she sort of become like this,
God.
senior figure guiding you, telling you what to do?
Not telling me what to do. She does
In
it
a
out
good
of
way,
like love
yeah.
and care, and she wants everybody to look good and feel good, and
Actually,
that's
इसका
where it
reason
comes
क्या है?
from.
एक बार ना हमारे सेट पे
जी.
नम्रता लिपस्टिक लगा रही थी और लिपस्टिक इसकी टीथ पे लग गई थी, तो इंटायर टेक वेंट अवे. और मैं ज्यादा बात नहीं करता, तो मैंने नोटिस किया, मैंने बोला नहीं. पर रवीना मैम ने बोला कि लिपस्टिक लगी हुई है, हटा दे. आई थिंक जस्ट टू बी कॉशियस वहां से चलते हुए आया ये.
Yeah.
That's nice, that's sweet. But okay, so this is Karmma Calling. Let's talk about karma. And it's said that whatever you do, it comes right back to bite you. Is that something that all of you believe in?
Well, I strongly do. I think it might take time, but there is justice, and there is definitely karma that works in and around you, and it's the vibrations that you put out ultimately come back to bite you. So it's something that you have to face the consequences of your own actions ultimately.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that it's not. It may not happen. It's not like I do something to you and you do something to me, and that's my karma. It can happen 10 years down the line. Somebody else, teaches me the lesson that I was meant to learn that day. So I think that the universe has a funny way of making everybody sort of pay for their actions, good and bad.
Yeah.
I feel a lot of times you'll feel कि if somebody's done bad to you and they are doing great in life, you feel why with me? That person is doing great. He did such a wrong thing to, or she did such a wrong thing to me. But eventually, what they said that universe in its own way will punish them and give it back to them. So in whatever magnitude.
For your good deeds also, actually.
100%. जो करोगे वो भरोगे.
Yeah.
And the way you treat people, people will treat you like that only in return.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I do believe in karma very strongly.
Yes. So this show is, of course, there's a lot of glitz and glamour that we see, but there's also this underlying themes of, deceit and betrayal. Betrayal might be a very heavy word for what I'm going to ask you next, but have you ever felt that, in your acting careers, maybe, the last moment you were perhaps dropped from a project or something like that?
No, of course you feel betrayal is a very strong word. I don't think you ever feel betrayed or anything like that. It's also part of the process. You audition for many things, you don't get a lot of parts. But I really think that the ones that are meant to come to you eventually come to you, and it may take long. A part that you deserve or an opportunity that you deserve will come to you when you're ready for it. Sometimes you may really want it very badly, but maybe you're not ready. And if it had come to you that time, it wouldn't be as fruitful. So you have to sort of take things as they come, not get bogged down by anything too much, because you have to remember that if you've worked hard, the opportunity will come eventually.
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
up to the universe.
Yes, yes. Do you want to add something?
No, I totally agree with what she's saying, because when the time is right, things will fall into place. And most definitely, I'm completely in sync with what she said, that
Yeah.
there's a right time for everything.
Yeah.
And but yes, there have been betrayals. I mean, I have had a longer career span than hers. There will be times where there will be betrayal. There will be, you'll be signed on and everything, and some people you think who are your friends will be waiting to stab you in the back, like what our show talks about. And then suddenly you'll be like, I mean, things have happened to me that I've been getting ready for a Muhurat in the evening. The stylist is in my house in the morning, and suddenly in the afternoon I get a call and say, sorry, but you're not there in the.
My God.
You're not in the film, and for reasons which are completely out of jealousy or insecurity from probably another actress or some connections, or when people use that camp thing and sorry, that used to happen a lot earlier. I'm hoping that yes, people are definitely much more professional now.
Right.
But these betrayals still happen. In fact, I was just recently seeing an old interview of another actor, and she was saying the same, that it was out of the blue and it did hurt at that time. And suddenly I was told I'm not doing these 4 films with this person, and so these things do happen, that you do sign, and sometimes politics plays, sometimes the petty politics or insecurities, but then it's what you take in your stride, and that's what forms you as a person, because then you realize that is not what you should be doing. You realize a lesson from that, that's exactly what you don't want to be.
True.
Absolutely.
Is be like them, because then when you see in the longer run and you see today, those people are nowhere. So that's what it's all about.
As I mentioned before, that the way you treat people, they'll treat you the same way.
Very true.
And betrayals and disappointments is very common in our career.
Yeah.
Of course, betrayals I haven't had, but I felt disappointed कि ये नहीं मिला, वो नहीं मिला, oh so close.
Yeah.
But I think to get a show like this, I waited for a very long time, and like a lot of people who are watching this will agree that Revenge, the show, which is a ABC studio show, it's US acclaimed show. It's adaptation.
Yes.
Karmma Calling is adaptation for it. I could never in my wildest dream think that I would be part of the Indian adaptation of it. So then all of a sudden the heartbreak, the disappointment कि यार ये नहीं मिला, वो नहीं मिला, seems worth it when you get a project like this.
Yeah, that's right. At the trailer launch, you had said that the show was offered to you about a decade back, but back then you couldn't do it because your son was, I think, born.
Yeah.
So now that 10 years later, a lot has changed. That show was, I think, originally made for TV. At that time, this role that you are playing perhaps could have been, labeled as a vamp. But today, because of more nuanced and rich storytelling, you are the protagonist. So are you happy that the show has happened actually at the right time?
जैसे कि मैंने कहा, मुझे लगता है हर चीज़ का एक समय होता है, और वो उस समय पे एक चीज़ जब चलती है तो फिर आपको लगता है कि हाँ, now the time is right. पर मुझे जब एक चीज़ किसी को कन्विंस करनी पड़ती है ना करने के लिए, तब मुझे डेफिनेटली सिग्नल होता है नहीं, दिस इज नॉट द टाइम. मुझे एक इंस्टेंट गो पे अगर मैं हाँ बोल दूं किसी भी चीज के लिए, मतलब वो चीज हो रही है. एंड जहाँ ऐसे होता है कि नहीं कर लो, ये ऐसे कर लेंगे, वैसे कर लेंगे, और कोई मुझे कन्विंस करने की कोशिश करता है, देन इट्स अ डेफिनेट नो फ्रॉम माय साइड. सो व्हेन दिस केम टू मी अर्लियर, देयर वाज अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स दैट वर देयर कि ओके, सो मेनी डेज, ऐसा ये होगा रोल, ये होगा, वो होगा, व्हिच डिडंट वर्क फॉर मी. सो आई न्यू कि नहीं, दिस इज नॉट द टाइम फॉर दिस. बट द रोल वॉज ऑलवेज वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. और जब ये अब हुआ इस दौर पे, जब आपने जैसे कि कहा कि अब नुआंस्ड कैरेक्टर्स इतने हैं, आज एंटी हीरो भी हीरो हैं, तो जिस तरीके से फिल्में भी कर रहे हैं अब हम लोग, तो डेफिनेटली दिस इज द टाइम जहाँ एक अवेयरनेस भी पड़ी है, स्टीरियोटाइपिंग कम हो गया है, एंड आप एक खुल के एक्सपेरिमेंट कर सकते हैं हर एक कैरेक्टर के साथ. Which is a good thing, which has also happened, I think, with the influx of OTT platforms into the industry space. So this has kind of opened that entire thing out of trying to experiment with different characters.
Right, right. Even your character, you know, for that matter, it seems like there's so much to it, so many layers to it that we, of course, cannot predict looking at the trailer, which is very interesting. But tell me, you know, both Raveena ma'am and you know, Ruchi ma'am, she is the director of the show. You know, it is said, and of late a lot of conversations are happening about how, you know, when women direct, you know, a story that's largely about women, it's always more, you know, complex, let's say, or it's always more, you know, has a lot more depth. What do you have to say about that?
No, I agree. I think the way that she was able to empathize was very unique, because she's able to really understand what you're bringing to it, even if it's some subtle layer of emotion. She really understands, and the kind of trust that she's put into me, into all of us, especially like being new and not having that much experience, she still trusted that I knew Karmma, and she let me be. So there was a lot of gentleness with which she guided me into it, and then she allowed me to make it my own. So it was definitely a unique experience, and I think that she's guided all of us beautifully.
Yeah. Do you think then that, you know, even for a grey female character, when you have a woman sort of, you know, directing or writing it, we look at that character from a different sort of a lens, that woman is not completely, you know, a vamp, let's say?
Well, I hope so, but I also think that times have changed.
Yeah,
I think that we now don't look at it as like a male director or a female director.
Okay.
You're a director and you're telling a story, and I think you have to look at it like that. And every director should have that sort of empathy for the characters that they are kind of bringing to life. And Ruchi is no different. She's just an absolute professional. Her vision has always been so clear. She has wanted to make the show for 10 years.
Yeah.
So she loves these characters.
Yeah.
And she wants everybody to have a whole you know, character arc where it's not one-dimensional. Whether it's Raveena ma'am's character, whether it's Varun's, sure, they have distinct personalities, but they all are whole within themselves, and that is credited to her and her vision for these characters.
Right, right. You know, Varun and you both, you know, when there's of course Raveena ma'am, the first thought that comes out to our mind is that, oh, she's the superstar, you know, she comes with her own aura. But when you met her, tell me one thing, one myth about her that actually got bust.
I think a lot of people nahi bolunga, a lot of like the outsiders, right? When I was in school, the general public, they said Raveena Tandon to bahut akdu hogi.
Have you heard that before?
बहुत attitude होगा, ठीक है?
They think that of all film stars. They think
Yeah,
we all
yeah.
live a different, we are on a different planet.
Yeah.
That we're aliens probably. We don't have emotions.
Because while growing up, we used to be like, अच्छा हाँ, अरे, how do you know? I'm telling you, कोई empathy नहीं है. Because as outsiders यही सुनने को मिलता है ना हम सबको. When I met her, I was like, what? My childhood was a lie. She is one of the most chilled person, one of the most humble people I've come across, helpful, and she is one of the few people who wants everybody to do well.
Yeah.
Like collectively, we will do well.
Yeah.
That's her attitude, and that's the attitude to have in life.
Yeah, no, and I think that not that I knew to, and of course she's a star, of course she comes in with that aura.
Yeah.
But knowing, like Varun was talking about before, knowing the kind of things that she does for people, for the environment, the things she's been doing all of these years, somebody like that is inherently a good human, and that's going to come across when they meet you. You know, there's whether you're a star, whether you're you know, whatever it is, her inherent goodness comes out, and that is why everybody feels the way they do about her, and that is why she is where she is.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's so sweet. You know, you also stated at
Heart
the
touch ho gaya mera.
that's so sweet, but you know, you also stated that your friendship actually started from hate.
No, it's not hate. Like
I mean, yeah, I was
these are
joking.
these
in
rumors that
Adi
he's
Shakti,
spreading.
in Adi Shakti,
No,
my first
we know the story. I was coming to something else. Hate, matlab, I don't mean like mad hate and all.
Okay.
Just
But
करती थी मुझे.
didn't get along perhaps as well initially, but now you guys are friends.
No, actually, I'll give you a context of this. In Adi Shakti, when we did our acting workshop.
It's a very intensive 10-day
Yes.
acting
Yeah.
workshop
I
that we
read
had.
up on it.
I didn't know him. He didn't know me.
We just met over, like met as in she knew me over there, I knew her over there, and she was ready for the workshop, and I was.
I'm a nerd. I'm studious, and when I'm there trying to learn something, I'm super focused and I don't mess around. He, on the other hand,
I was a DJ with MTV. I was chilling in life. I was like, okay, I'll get to learn something new. Maybe meet a few people. Like, I don't know. And I entered and I was exploring Pondicherry. Sometimes
Bunking the class.
Sometimes I went away outside.
So it was a very like, who are these people that are not taking anything seriously?
Only me.
Like that was my introduction to him. So when I did meet him and found out that he's actually a very sincere, hardworking person, it was all fine.
Oh, that's a lovely story.
Started with confusion. But did you ever feel at one point that, oh my god, when we met for the look
इसका
test?
अंदर का विजय ना
We
बोल रहा
are
है
जागरूक
taken over.
Varun, I think you should take
मेरी
over now.
पुरानी आदत है. Sorry.
नहीं पूछ ले
चलो,
मुझे भी
please,
want
go
to
ahead.
know.
मुझे भी जानना है.
तो
When you
पूछ ले.
when you met me for the first time, did you ever think, oh my god, यार ये तो
Yeah,
class
I
bunk
thought
करता
no
था.
work will happen.
Oh, really?
Nobody is going to take anything seriously anymore. He'll be messing around at workshops, but he was very serious.
मेरे
So
से
it was fine.
पिटाई मिलती थी तुम दोनों को.
सच में.
हाँ 1 spank के कौन खींचना है ऐसे ऐसे.
She's like this
Yeah,
strict
you
teacher.
forget a
no?
line, you
She was like my mom only. I'm telling you.
Okay, your children have grown up now, Ranveer, Rasha, both of them.
I'm hoping that they.
No, why I'm saying that is, I'm sure they watch your work now. Are they like those critical children ki mama you should have done this better, or why did you do this, or do they give any input when they watch your work?
No, when they were young, they saw I made them see only 2 films at that time, Andaz Apna Apna and Dule Raja. So that was the beginning and the end for Ranbir Vardhan, my son, because he has not even one bone of a filmy kida in him, not at all.
Okay.
He's academically inclined, but Rasha was always onto the creative side and singing, and I want to be a rock star, and I want to be like Ariana Grande and everything. And so she was belting it out all the time, and she sings Touchwood very well even now. But she now has started seeing all my other varied movies and everything. But the only advice that they constantly give me are on my Instagram, because I am such a dud at Instagram and I don't know anything about it. So I make these really serious, horrible mistakes. And when I put my reels and I shoot my reels and my team says, ma'am, now you have to put a reel, I choose one funny one, because ultimately we are not influencers, we are actors. So, you know, like I love the way the influencers actually create content.
Yeah.
अब हम लोग को नहीं है ये knack, and they really have a knack to do it so well. So sometimes I bum few reels from some influencers who've already made some good reels, and I kind of, you know, piggyback on them, and I make those reels, and then Rasha will say, Mama, you cannot make some of these reels, you cannot, it's cringe. I said I love it. Like the first time that reel had come out now, oh so beautiful, just like a wow. I was the first person in the industry to make that reel,
God.
and my daughter freaked out at me, Mama, this is so cringe, please delete it. She called me, can you delete, that's so cringe. And after that, Deepika made it, and others made it. I sent it to her. I said, see, everyone's making it. Deepika's made it, so it's become a rage. मैंने किया तो cringe. I keep fighting with her on that. So yeah, so it is. I enjoy some of these really funny reels and some
we
of
are
these.
killing it on Instagram.
Yeah. Your
I
Instagram
enjoy
is
it.
very strong, by the way.
I enjoy it because, and I do it once in a while. If I find something really funny, that I just don't do it for the heck of के मुझे reels बनाने तो मैं हर चीज बनाऊंगी. I do selectively, which I really, when I fall off the floor laughing, then I say ये तो बनाना ही है.
Okay, but you know, ending this on an even better note, while the show may be about deceit and all of that, friendship is also, you know, an integral part of the industry, of everywhere, you know, and it's so great to see the you know, great bond that all of you share. Just one last thing, do you believe that, you know, it is important to have friendships within the industry just to keep your mind sane amidst all the glam and glitz?
So you cannot force a friendship.
Yeah.
There's some people you just get along with, and you come across some real people and you want to keep connected.
Yeah.
So that's how my friendships are in the industry. I'm friends with all my co-actors from then to now, and I love all of them, and I think maybe they love me. I'm not sure, but I love them,
Yeah.
you know, and there are some who I've just not gotten along with, whom I've not stayed in touch with. And I'm very clear on that. I don't have the time to waste my breath on pretenses.
Right.
I've never been like that, and now it's too late to change me also. It's a gone case as far as I'm concerned. I'm a gone case.
I think I've been lucky enough that
Yeah.
from this show I'm friends with everybody. I've done 3 shows after this. I'm friends with them also. But it's again because I related to them, because the vibe matched, and again, you can't force a friendship.
Yeah.
But it is important to be sane, because if you carry those friendships in your personal life, then that's a different bond altogether. And I think because I come from Delhi,
ये
right?
ऐसा क्यों हुआ? Carry the friendships on personal life. उस तरफ क्यों गया arrow? मेरी तरफ क्यों नहीं आया?
नहीं, यहाँ से start किया ना मैंने.
नहीं ऐसे नहीं, तुमने उसकी तरफ
In
से
all
start किया, तुम
directions.
उधर end किए.
नहीं.
ऐसा क्यों हुआ? But I want to know. हाँ, पूछो ना.
क्यों हुआ?
Anyway,
मेरा हाथ
I
ऐसे.
think
That I want to maintain those friendships in personal life.
No, I
अंडरलाइंग मैसेज है मैम एक.
I know ये सब समझना
ये
चाहिए.
ये लो
Gen
एक और,
Z है,
ये इसको
Gen
edit
Z.
करके डालना है, ठीक है?
Gen Z है ये, Gen
That
Z
way.
generation. इनके इशारे ही काफी हैं. Anyway, sorry, I didn't want to butt
No,
into
no.
you. तुम बोल दो जो बोलो.
बट हाँ जरूरी है,
Yes.
बिकॉज आई कम फ्रॉम दिल्ली, राइट. बॉम्बे में आने के लिए यहाँ कोई दोस्त था नहीं, तो यहाँ दोस्त बने, एंड वैसे ही दोस्त बने जो रियल थे. वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट.
Yeah. No, and I've fortunately grown up in Bombay, so all of my core friends are my school friends. And then, of course, you start working, and our work is such that you're meeting so many new people constantly. You're on different sets, so each time you're on a set, you will either form a bond with certain people. If you're lucky, you'll really get along. Sometimes you won't, and that's okay. Like they said, you can't force it.
Yeah.
So when it happens, you embrace it, and when it doesn't, you have to just take it as a job, and you move on, and it doesn't need to be personal.
So who do you hate from Karmma Calling?
You right now.
All right then. Thank you so much to all of you.
Thank
you.
And
Thank you.
it looks very interesting. I want to see actually what is cooking between the two of you, and of course your character. And well, thank you so much.
You will
Thank
get to
you.
see everything on the
26th
26th of
of January.
January. Please do watch Karmma Calling and give us a shout out.
उस दिन छुट्टी है तो प्लीज परेड के बाद देख लेना.
Parade के बाद.